The receipt lay on the table like an insult, thin and final. $0, tip. For a moment, the diner felt quieter than it ever had, as if even the clatter of plates and hum of old ceiling fans were holding their breath. Clara's hand trembled as she reached for the check, her eyes stinging, not from anger alone, but from exhaustion. The kind that sinks into bones and doesn't leave. Before the story goes any further, take a second. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and quiet miracles that show up when people need them most, please like this video, comment, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to Everyday Heroes. Your support helps stories like this reach hearts that are still hurting. Clara was 26, a single mother, and running on 4 hours of sleep and stubborn determination. Her son Noah, barely a year old, rested against her hip, his small hand gripping her apron string like it was the only safe thing left in the world. Daycare had called in sick again, and she couldn't afford to miss her shift. So she brought him with her, balancing plates with one hand and motherhood with the other, praying the manager wouldn't notice too much. The diner was one of those places frozen in time, vinyl booths cracked from decades of use, checkerboard floors, framed photos of strangers who once mattered to someone. Breakfast crowds came and went like tides. Most days, Clara blended into the background, refilling coffee, wiping tables, apologizing for things that weren't her fault. Then he walked in. The man didn't announce himself. He didn't need to. His tailored gray suit looked expensive even under fluorescent lights, his silver hair perfectly combed, his posture straight with the confidence of someone used to being obeyed. People glanced at him without knowing why, sensing importance the way animals sense storms. Someone whispered his name. Clara didn't hear it, but she felt the shift in the room. He sat alone, ordered simply, and barely looked at her as she set down his plate. His eyes were sharp, assessing, distant. Clara noticed everything because waitresses always do, the untouched water glass, the precise way he folded his napkin, the absence of warmth in his expression. Still, she treated him like everyone else. Because rent didn't care who he was. Formula didn't care either. Noah fussed midway through the meal. Clara bounced him gently, whispering apologies she had said 1,000 times before. She expected irritation, maybe even a complaint. Instead, the man simply watched, his gaze lingering longer than comfort allowed. There was something unreadable there, curiosity, maybe, or recognition. When he finished, he placed his utensils neatly on the plate and stood without a word. No smile. No thank you. Just the faint scent of expensive cologne left behind. Clara approached the table afterward, already bracing herself. That's when she saw the receipt. $0. Her chest tightened. It wasn't just the money, though that mattered desperately, it was the message. The judgment. The silent confirmation of every fear she carried, that she wasn't enough, that struggling made her invisible, that kindness was a luxury for people who could afford it. She swallowed hard, blinking back tears, reaching to clear the table before anyone could see her break. And then she noticed something strange. The plate was heavier than it should have been. Beneath it, folded carefully, was a thick piece of paper. Not a bill. Not trash. Her fingers hesitated before unfolding it, her heart pounding for reasons she couldn't explain. It was a check. Not a tip. Not even close. It was more money than Clara had seen in her entire life. Her breath caught, sharp and painful. She scanned the number again, convinced she was misreading it. But it didn't change. Her knees felt weak. Under the check was a note, written in steady, deliberate handwriting. It didn't say much. It said he knew what it was like to grow up watching a mother struggle. It said he recognized strength when he saw it. It said this wasn't charity, it was belief. And at the bottom, a single line that made her chest ache. Don't let today convince you that you don't matter. The room blurred. Clara pressed the paper to her chest, tears finally spilling over. Not loud, not dramatic, just quiet, shaking relief. For the first time in years, the weight on her shoulder shifted, just enough to let her breathe. She later learned who he was. A billionaire. A man known for ruthless business deals and cold decisions. People online called him heartless. But no one knew about the envelope he'd once found under his own plate decades ago. No one knew about the waitress who had helped his mother when no one else would. No one knew how he paid his gratitude forward, not loudly, not publicly, but precisely where it mattered most. That money didn't solve everything overnight. Life didn't suddenly turn into a dream. But it gave Clara time. Time to move into a safer apartment. Time to enroll in evening classes. Time to stop choosing between diapers and electricity. It gave her dignity back. Months later, she no longer worked double shifts. Noah learned to walk in a living room that didn't smell like fear. Clara carried herself differently, not because she was rich, but because someone had seen her at her lowest and decided she was worth lifting. And sometimes, late at night, she thought about that receipt. About how easily the world could have ended the story there, at zero. How close she came to believing that was all she deserved. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment right now to like this video, share it, and subscribe to Everyday Heroes. Stories like this survive because of people like you who still believe compassion matters. Before this video ends, we have one special request. Comment below with the word kindness if you believe one small act can change a life. Your comment might be the encouragement someone else needs today. Because sometimes, the biggest tips aren't written on receipts. They're hidden where only the broken think to look.